is 5 o'clock. Here is the word news at 5. First, the top stories. Abeokuta court sentenced the man to die by hanging for armed robbery. President Buhari and Donald Trump spoke on telephone. Jonathan said PDP is still Nigeria's biggest party and might defeat APC in 2019. Southwest governor set a common economic agenda for the region. In foreign, Trump security advisor quit and Hitler look-alike arrested in Austria. I am Simi Atabaru, bringing you the news and detail shortly. Now the news and detail. An Abeokuta High Court has sentenced a man to die by hanging for armed robbery. The convict, Gabriel Joseph, was charged to court on a four-count charge of conspiracy, armed robbery, and unlawful possession of firearms. The incident, according to prosecution, occurred on February 29, 2013, at Plot 4, Astor Rock Crescent, and on January 19, 2013, at 4JB Awo Shejo Street, Anowofela Magboro, both in Ibafo. The accused and others still at large robbed one Ben Friday of his Toyota Highlander Jeep marked FST 30 IAQ, cash totaling 200,000 naira, a Nokia handset, a wristwatch, and BlackBerry cell phone. The accused also robbed one Damilola Alade of one Toyota Camry with marked SL 93LA AA, one BlackBerry cell phone and one iPad tablet, and cash totaling 60,000 naira. He was arrested through the tracker of the stolen iPad phone from one of the complaints, but during investigation it was discovered that he usually snatched vehicles and later sell them in Onitsha, Anambra State. Justice Olatokunbo Majekodunmi, in a verdict, says the prosecuting counsel has proved his case against the accused beyond reasonable doubt and sentenced him to die by hanging. Ogun State government proposes planting of 2 million trees to mitigate the effect of climate change in the state. Also, the state government intends to recruit additional 3,000 environmental sanitation marshals to further keep the state clean. The state government also says it has procured a swamp machine to dredge river channels in the state. Governor Ibikunle Amosun made this known at the Climate Change Knowledge Immersion Workshop organized by the Federal Ministry of Environment and World Bank Group in Abeokuta to accelerate the climate resilient and low carbon development in Nigeria. Amosun says that his administration is always supervising the activities of investors in the state in making sure that they are complying with the state policy of using modern day equipment that would not cause climate change. In Minister of State for Environment, Mr. Ibrahim Usman says the federal government is launching a 20 billion naira environmental fundraising to tackle climate change in Nigeria. The practice manager at Environment and Natural Resources World Bank, Bernard Bosco, in his presentation said Africa, especially Nigeria, is most vulnerable to climate change. Ogun State government has finalized a plan to send two bills to the State House of Assembly to give a legal backing to the alternative dispute resolution and to fast-track administration of criminal justice in the state. Justice Commissioner Dr. Olumide Ayeni, who announced this while speaking to newsmen at the end of the meeting of the State Executive Council in Abeokuta, says the meeting deliberated on the two bills and agreed to send them to the State House of Assembly. He said the state government took the decision to find a retributory method in handling cases to decongest prisons and improve the perception of investors on security in the state. Jonathan cautioned the position of candidates by ensuring that at least 70% of statutory delegates are not under the control of anybody. Southwest state governors have agreed to adopt common policies and programs to fast-track development of the region. The governors, at the end of their meeting held in Ado-Ekiti, agreed on a common framework on security and collaboration on energy, power, digital, telecommunications, seizure, leisure, entertainment, water, and infrastructure. The governors, in a communique issued at the end of the meeting, read by their host, Governor Ayodele Fayose, also agreed to set up Regional Technical Working Committee on the Southwest Integrated Infrastructure Development to coordinate the proposed integration. They also agreed on the Southwest Regional Integrated Commercial Agricultural Development Program, while Lagos State is selected to champion a structural regional food exchange program. Another of the agreements is comparing of note of education by the six states, with each of them donating a center for the establishment of Regional Center of Excellence. All the state governors attended the meeting, except Governor Ibikunle Amosun of Ogun State, represented by his deputy, Mrs. Yetunde Onanuga. The next meeting will hold in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. You are still listening to the World News at 5 from Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business, and sport news. Please stay with us. Vice President Donald Trump's National Security Advisor Michael Flynn has resigned over his contacts with Russia, the White House has announced. Mr. Flynn is alleged to have discussed U.S. sanctions with the Russian ambassador before Mr. Trump took office. He is said to have misled officials about the conversation. Earlier, U.S. media reported that the Justice Department had warned the White House about the contact late last month. They said that Mr. Flynn might be vulnerable to Russian blackmail. The National Security Advisor was appointed by the President to serve as his or her chief advisor on international affairs and defense. A Hitler look-alike has been arrested in Austria on charges of glorifying the Nazi era. The 25-year-old man reportedly calls himself Harold Hitler. The man, sporting a side parting and a trademark moustache, had been seen having his photograph taken outside the house of Brno am Inn, in which Adolf Hitler was born. Police spokesman David Fortner says the look-alike had recently moved to the town on the German border and had also been spotted in Vienna and Graz. Last October, the Austrian authorities decided to demolish Hitler's birthplace house to stop it becoming a focal point for neo-Nazis. Hitler was born in a rented room on the top floor of the building on 20th of April 1889, but during Nazi rule, the house was transformed into a shrine to Hitler as the town drew in a wave of tourists. In business, Presidency says it has secured a commitment of $1 billion from Shell for the development of the Niger Delta region. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo, addressing a town hall meeting in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital, explains that the $1 billion will be disbursed at the rate of $200 million yearly for the provision of potable water and for the conduct of impact assessment and demonstrate remediation technologies. Oshibajo also says that 2,000 women drawn from 4 local government areas will be trained in greenhouse, shrimp farming, and poultry. The acting president also promises that the groundbreaking for the construction of a center of excellence will be laid in a few days' time. Finally, sport news. Nigeria Football Federation (NFF) has directed Super Eagles manager Gernot Rohr to begin final preparations for the 2019 African Nations Cup and 2018 World Cup qualifiers against South Africa and Cameroon immediately. NFF Media Director Ademola Olajire, who made this news, says the federation is working round the clock to organize quality friendly games to put the team in the right shape ahead of the qualifiers. According to Olajire, the federation wants to organize friendly games with nations that play the same robust style of football as the indomitable Lions of Cameroon. He explains that is why Senegal was picked as one of the Eagles' opponents in the warm-up games next month. That was the world news at 5, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Abeokuta court sentenced a man to die by hanging for armed robbery. President Buhari and Donald Trump spoke on telephone. Jonathan said PDP is still Nigeria's biggest party and might defeat APC in 2019. Southwest governors set a common economic agenda for the region. And on the foreign scene, we reported that Trump's security advisor quit and the Hitler look-alike arrested in Austria. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you for listening. I am Senior Tabaru. Good evening.